Hey everybody, it's Misty here. Just want to make sure you guys can see me. Looks like we're in frame. This is my first video, so I'm a little bit nervous. I've had some technical difficulties, I do have to admit, but I think we're through that now, so we'll see how it goes. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about fussy cutting. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people are kind of in between, but normally, really it's either you like to do it or you just absolutely do not. So the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to fussy cutting is I tend to enjoy it, to be honest. I like to keep my hands going and my fingers nimble, and that helps with that. But there are a few things that you want to keep in mind when you are fussy cutting. So the first thing, in all honesty, I have to say for me, is being comfortable. So a lot of different things can be encompassed in that. I would say honestly that the first thing is, get in a comfy chair or wherever you're comfortable at and start there. Make sure you're comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you're going to wiggle and twist and all that good stuff. And yes, I'm bumping the camera just for a moment. You're going to wiggle and twist and you're going to make mistakes. So I honestly am fortunate enough to be set up at a table and in a chair that I have finally gotten comfortable for me. I have an older office chair, in all honesty, but it's got a really nice purple cushion, the brand Purple, and that has made a world of difference. Excuse me. I apologize for the cough. I'm getting over some of this allergy crap that a lot of people have been going through. So anyway, back to fussy cutting. So I like to get comfortable. The second thing that you want to keep in mind, and that is really, really important, is your lighting. Right now, my lighting is not real great, just because of the way I have things set up. Like I said, it's my first video. I've got some tweaking to do before I do my next one. But when I talk about your lighting, the first thing people think, or some people who haven't been doing it for a while or what have you, okay, I'm in a good lighting. I have good light right above me, or good light right behind me. You have to bear in mind you're going to have shadows as you're cutting. So you want to make sure you're in the right light to where you are not going to have a shadow on your paper, whether it be from something in the room, from the, yes, my camera is falling again. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Maybe not. Yes, I just stuck my hand in front of the camera. So anyway, we're going to go on, push through it. So you have to make sure that you're not going to have a shadow on your paper, especially in those tight little corners. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about lighting. You, I like my office chair because, in all honesty, if I get into a place where, you know, I'm having a little bit of a shadow on it from my hand, from my scissors, whatever it may be, I can turn a little bit. So, you know, that I'm getting the light where I need it. I, you know, some of us are getting older and our eyes tend to strain with this. So, and yes, I'm speaking for myself when I say getting older. I absolutely am getting older. So that's another tip that I wanted to talk about with you with fussy cutting. The next thing, as you saw when I started the video, was, and I'm actually going to try to fussy cut a few of these on camera for you to show you some of the things that I'm talking about. But before you can even get really into that, is you have to find the right scissors for you. So as you can see, I have definitely experimented. I have spent more money than I really honestly care to tell you on good scissors. So when I first started scrapbooking many years ago, of course we had the general, you know, bigger scissors that you just can buy anywhere. Excuse me again. They, you know, they had craft scissors, but I had to learn about them. And it has taken experimenting. And in all honesty, over the years, I've changed scissors because my hands don't move the same way. You know, sometimes my hands are swollen. And I think most of us have those times when it's hot, my hands swell. When it's, you know, when it's cold, they tend to go down a little bit. But that makes a huge difference when you are trying to be precise on fussy cutting. So I'm going to kind of go through these a little bit and kind of show you how I narrowed the process, or narrowed the process of narrowing it down for me. So these right here are my fussy cutting scissors from years ago. I've had 3 or 4 pairs of them that I've gone through. They are wonderful scissors. Okay. When I first started back into paper crafting, I was on a mission to find another pair of these. Well, sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't. And I was just dead set that I was going to find another pair. So these are, I mean, honestly, they're really good for people who have trouble, you know, with their grip, because they do have that spring, so that does help. I fussy cut with these for many years. So when, honestly, as I went back into paper crafting, like I said, I was just dead set I was going to find another pair of these. Well, I found another pair just like them, and I don't know if it was the tension in the spring. Honestly, I can't tell you what it was. I didn't like them. So I ended up, I'm going to move those to the side. So I ended up finding these. And, you know, I know that new, sometimes there's more tension to it. There's, you know, and I fussy cut with these for, honestly, about 2 days. 2 times was all it took. They're not comfortable in my hand. I don't know if you can tell the difference just by looking at them like this. I have smaller hands. They're a little chubby, but I have smaller hands. These did not fit in my hand the way I liked for them to fit to get as precise of a cut as I can possibly get. So guess what? These lay in a drawer. These also, at this point, lay in a drawer. I will not get rid of them, though. I promise you. So the next ones that I went to were these. So they have the soft grip in there, and they have a pretty good, you know, sharp point for the most part. They don't move easy. They just, for me, they just don't move easy. Not only that, but I know this sounds really crazy, and it's probably a malfunction that is mine, not the scissors, I'm sure. I get my fingers stuck in them. And I will try to move, and my fingers get stuck, my paper gets torn. So, guess what? You guessed it. Those lay in a drawer. The next pair that I ended up with were these. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I was a sucker for where it says titanium nonstick. And I thought, why I thought it, I don't know when it comes to fussy cutting. But I thought, oh my gosh, these are going to be amazing. They're nonstick. Yes, we do cut through a lot of things that have sticky on them, you know, on the back of them. So nonstick is definitely, it's a plus. But these don't have a good point on them. They're not comfortable, and they don't move easy. I know I'm picky with it. But if you want to get the result that is optimal for you, and everybody, that's another thing we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But if you want to get the best result, you want something that moves fluid for you, that you're not fighting with as you're cutting. So guess what? Yep, they're non-stick, but they sit in a drawer. So the next pair that I got were these. And these were actually gifted to me on one of our Wish Tuesdays, I believe. I like these. I really do. And I sometimes will still use these. But as you can see, I mean, the blades are a little wider. They don't have they have a lot sharper point than any of the others that I've shown you. They don't move as easy as I like. If you fussy cut, you know, numerous things, that tends to make your hands sore. So, like I said, I do use these some, but they ultimately, honestly, are not my favorites. So, obviously, that brings us to these. So, excuse me again. These are the Tim Holtz, Tonic Studios Tim Holtz scissors. These are the 5-inch, excuse me. These, as you can see, are the 5-inch. These are the 7-inch. I don't know if you guys can see that, how well you can see that. Maybe that's a little better. So anyway, these are the 5-inch, these are the 7-inch. I use both of these scissors all the time. They have the soft rubber grip, so they give. They are non-stick, and they move easy. They just move easy for me. That's why I like them so well. So I'm going to set this pair up here for just a minute because we'll come back to them. But when it comes to right down to the detailed fussy cutting, my personal favorite does not mean it will be everyone's favorite, but my personal favorite are these. I love them. And every time, not every time, I shouldn't say every time, but there have been a couple of times, that when the Tim Holtz stuff goes on sale at Hobby Lobby, these are normally, I think, $10.99 at Hobby Lobby. So when they go on sale for 40% off, yes, I have a couple spare pairs of them. I have a spare pair in my drawer that's still in the package because I'm really not going to take the chance on these breaking on me. Yes, I'm a hoarder. Most of us have admitted that when we've chatted. Not really a hoarder, but my husband seems to think so with my craft stuff. But so yes, I have a spare pair of these in my drawer. I also have a spare pair of these in my drawer. Both are still in the package. I also have a pair of each of these downstairs. My craft room is upstairs in our house, but I have a pair of these downstairs for when I like to go down and actually, sit and watch a movie with my husband, or, relax down there. So I have these downstairs by my chair. I have just a little caddy that I keep by my chair or my recliner so that I can have all my stuff right there. So, like I said, I'll come back to these. These are my all-time favorite. Now, there's more than what I've already told you as far as why these are my favorite. They have the soft grip, just like the bigger ones. They are non-stick. They move easy. They move really easy for me. The other thing with the Tim Holtz scissors, for any of you that don't have them and don't know this already, they're serrated. So what that means is you get that little notch in them as you're going. I never realized that was so important. But when it comes to fussy cutting, it's important to me. So that's another plus for me with these scissors. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to bring a couple things in. Bring my paper back in. These are digitals that I've printed out. Let me... And then I have an envelope of them, actually, that I have already cut out and that I have started. So I'm going to move these over here to the side a little bit, and I'll pull some of these out that I have already cut. I'm always worried that I'm not in frame now. But so I'll spread some of these out and show you so far what I've cut out of these. I have cut numerous of them, or I'm trying to get numerous of them cut. I'm using them in a project that I'm getting ready to start. So these I haven't detailed yet, and I know everybody's process is different, but yes, I have it's kind of more of a two-step process for me. So let's spread these out. I'm sorry guys, I'm taking so long to do that. But there you can see some of the ones I've already done. what I like to do, and I'll see if I can get these a little bit closer to the camera where you can actually see them and see the detail. So, and I'm sorry if that's, like I said, again, my first video, so we'll see how this goes. There are mistakes in here. There are a lot of mistakes in there. Part of fussy cutting is knowing where to or how to correct your mistakes, or how to fix it before it becomes a big mistake. So this is where these scissors come in. What I normally do, and I'm sure, I mean, fussy cutting is not that technical, but there are a lot of things involved with it when it gets right down to it. So what I like to do, so that I'm not trying to handle a big piece of paper while I'm doing it, is I cut them down. I was talking earlier about the scissors being serrated. You can hear it. That's that little notch sound, for lack of better terms, I guess. I'm sure you guys are gonna love my sound effects there, or my names for them. So I cut off the excess, and yes, by the way, I keep my excess paper. When you're using good paper that you've printed things on, digitals, and you're using good paper, don't throw that away. Those are perfect. These little strips, they still have a straight edge here. And then you're probably going to have a straight edge if you cut the page like I did on this one into quarters, you're going to have a couple of straight edges on that. So where I'm going with that is you can, put it down on your mat or wherever you stamp at and use it for stamping sentiments. And then you can put it right in your paper cutter and it's going to line up straight and be able to get a good straight sentiment cut. So anyway, just a side note. So like I said, I cut that excess off. And I promise you, I am not going to make you watch me fussy cut for a long time. So I cut them down to where there's a little bit of excess, like that. So I'm going to put these aside and go on into the actual fussy cutting. So that's what I use these scissors for. I can get a little closer with these scissors, and some people tend to prefer bigger scissors. I do not. So yes, like I said, I can get in a little closer, but then I'm cutting and cutting and cutting. I don't want to cut it 4 times. So I'm going to snip that off. Now, for me, like I said, you have to feel it out and see what's best for you once you find a good, comfortable pair of scissors. Get comfortable in your chair and you have good lighting. So I like to start either at a corner or at an edge, like the edge of the paper, a corner or a point, not an edge. And so that's why I started basically at the point of this. I don't know if you can see the point of that little greenery piece there. So I started there. When I fussy cut, the one key thing, and it took me forever to learn this, is you hold your scissors pretty much still. You don't move your scissors a lot, other than clamping them down to cut. You move your paper. It's much easier once you learn how to do that to move your paper, and you'll get less mistakes, and it moves like when you're turning like that. You'll get a lot less mistakes when you are turning the paper and not your scissors. So here again, you can hear the little serrated cuts. It's almost like it's a, for me, I know this sounds really silly, but it's almost like it's a safety feature to keep me from messing up as bad. So it's like you have that little notch to kind of stop you. Pressing it, yep, I just messed up. Pressing it down, you know, to get that cut, to get past that notch, I mean, it's not anything that's difficult by any means. So there you saw I kind of twisted into it. Also, when you're cutting points like that, make sure you, when you're twisting your paper around, you have the right angle at it. So you're not bending this. So I'm going to just show you, I'm going to finish fussy cutting this piece, and we'll kind of go back. Actually, I'm going to just finish fussy cutting the top of it here. I mean, you guys can get the gist from there. Yes, I just cut into it again. Everybody likes, when I was talking a little bit ago about how you like your fussy cutting. Some people like it right up against the edge. I like a little bit of a white outline, not a real big one, but a little bit. So yeah, sometimes I kind of get into it, you know, the actual color, but that's okay. It's not, unless you just make a deep cut where you have cut, you know, the head of a rabbit off, or that you're fussy cutting or something like that. Most of the time it's fixable. See, I did it right there, what I was talking about, making sure your paper is kind of held at the right angle, so you're not bending your paper up. So here's another thing with fussy cutting. Put that aside. So like down in here, normally I would, on some of them, I have left that. Some of them, I mean, I cut down in there a little deeper. That one is a fairly easy one. You know, you can still get a good turn on your paper down in that one. Some places you cannot. So what I like to do with mine, so for instance, let me find a good one here. In here. That's another thing too. I kind of skipped over that. When you're getting ready to set, or when you're getting ready to cut, set your scissors first. Get your scissors where you want them and set them. And then start cutting. Leave yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of wiggle room there. So I can't get a real good turn in there. That's what I was talking about. So you want to cut it at like a V. So you're going to come in from one side, and then you can then come in from the other side. And if you can't get a real good cut down in the corner, I will do it like that and then just snip it. And as you can see, that didn't work out so well for me that time. But, oh my goodness, of course. And then you can just pull it off of there. So there's, like I said, there's not a lot of technicality to fussy cutting, but I hope that I was able to give you at least a few tips and tricks and some, you know, things that can help you in your paper crafting. We all, I believe, all of us like to make beautiful things. That's why we do this. We do it for that. We do it to relax. We do it because we enjoy it. When you know, are making mistakes or can't get the cut you want, or things just how you want them, it's stressful. So if you find a technique that works for you, it helps keep it relaxing. And still maintain the beauty of the project that you're making. So anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, or maybe not so much enjoyed even, but I hope that I was able to help give you a few tips and tricks. So y'all have a good night, and I hope you enjoy boot camp. Bye.